Welcome to Running on Reddit r/Bridezillas, where the craziest brides and wedding stories are shared on Reddit. So my two longtime friends, one for 20 years, send out their wedding invites, which I got yesterday. Simple invites, addressed envelope with a simple single card inside. I happen to have a GF of almost 2 years. Both of my friends know her, have hung out with her, been to parties, dinners, ski trips, etc. My GF does not live with me, so I get the invite and it's addressed to my full name and guest. The inside card was not addressed. This seemed odd to me, so I checked a bunch of wedding sites and they all said that couples invites should have both names, whether they live together or not. Or you send an invite to each person, if you know both of them well. So I text my two soon to be married friends. I thank them for the invite, tell them how excited I am, and then say that I was disheartened that they didn't include my GF's name on the invite. They are not apologetic at all. They say that they meant no disrespect, but that was the way they were told to do it by their wedding planner, that it makes perfect sense to them, and they see nothing wrong with it. Fair enough. I respond that, based on what I read, I still think it should have both our names. The whole time I'm just picturing what would have happened had my GF come over the day I got the invite and seen that she was and guessed. I mean, would anyone not be a bit bothered by that? So my one friend responds again that it was so rude for me to even bring this up, and she's so upset that she's shaking. They also say a couple times that I was the only person that even got a +1. We don't have any other single friends even dating anyone, and seem to imply that I'm being ungrateful for the +1 by even bringing this up. Again, I just think of how my GF would feel being referred to as and guest. I apologize to them again and say I meant to offense and left it at that. Am I the booty hole for thinking my GF should be addressed by her name on a wedding invite? Final update. Well, Reddit may have been correct in calling me a booty hole, but not much else. After writing my apologetic email, my friend wrote back and said they actually thought it was initially romantic that I stuck up for my GF, but then they got offended when it seemed like I didn't buy their reasoning, which is 100% valid. They then said that everything is totally fine. Of course they still want us at the wedding. I had joked that I hope we were still invited and that we should plan a double date soon. So for those of you that jumped right to this being a friendship ruiner, you're some oversensitive petty peeps. Talk to your friends. If you think this is the kind of thing that ends friendships, you've got some pretty weak friendships. Peace. A little odd that they labeled her as a +1 when they already knew her name and were frequent acquaintances. I'm really trying to forgive this bride, and every time I think I have laid it to rest, the anger comes back. Maybe sharing some of what happened will help me move on for good. The situation. We are on the coast. It's finna be a beach wedding. The hotel we are staying in is less than a block from the boardwalk to the beach/ceremony site. It's like 30 minutes until the wedding. Guests are showing up. The bride doesn't want to be seen. She refuses to wait in the hotel, a 200-foot walk tops, and insists on being in a car. The keys to said car are with father of the bride, who is on the beach a quarter-mile away. Maid of honor offers to go get them, and immediately starts speed walking. Bride screams run. When the maid of honor has sprinted back, they wait in the car. Bride is at a very high stress level at this point. She says to maid of honor after a few moments, "Your breathing is stressing me out, quiet down Dumby head." I was thankfully not in the car at this moment, or I would have actually lived up to the accusation that I was the most stressful thing about her wedding. That's when you lock the car and hide the keys. When the bride gets out and the car alarms start going off, she will get all the attention that she deserves. This was a few years back now, at my friend's wedding. I was one of her bridesmaids. The other bridesmaid was a young girl, about 4, who was a daughter of a family friend. Cast: EM, the family friend; EK1, the daughter and other bridesmaid; EK2, the son, about 5 to 6; F, friend; BF, my boyfriend, now husband. The first time I met EM was on F's hen do. I had organized for us to go to a certain chocolatey attraction in the UK, followed up by a pole dancing class. EM wanted to bring EK1 with her. I thought this was weird seeing as it was an adult hen do, but EM said F would be pleased to see EK1. I ran it past F's mum who knew the family, and it was agreed EK1 could come, but would have to leave before the pole dancing because, you know, it's inappropriate. This meant having to rearrange the coach to pretty much take us back to our pickup point post chocolate, to drop EK1 off, and waste almost an hour in the process. It was annoying, but F's mum thought it was fine, so I went with what she thought seeing as EM was their friend, not mine. Anyway, onwards to F's wedding day. The bridal party are all getting ready in F's hotel room. EM had both EK1 and EK2 with her. They aren't too bratty at this point, just being kids fed up watching adults getting hair and makeup done. EM kept sending them over to me to keep them occupied, while she chats to F again, annoying but not a major problem. Anyway, the evening comes around, and it starts to go downhill. F didn't have a seating plan, so BF and I chose to sit at a table with my parents, whom F had also invited. I haven't really had much chance to interact with them because of bridesmaid duties, and I'm quite tired by this point, so it was nice to take the opportunity to relax and unwind. Oh, how wrong I was. This is an entitled parent story. QEM and her husband deciding to come share the table with us. Both kids are bored while waiting for food/DJ. EM and her husband are more interested in getting drunk, so again they keep sending the kids back to me. I'm tired and just want to rest for a bit before the dancing starts, but these kids keep dragging me up to play every time I try to take a break. BF gets up with me to try to help out. Eventually we get fed up of keep playing with these kids that neither of us really know, so we go stand in the smoking area. Neither me nor BF are smokers, but it was the only way to stop the kids following us. When we feel we've had enough relief, we head back in. In our absence, the kids had been at the sweet trolley, like it was going out of fashion, and the sugar rush hit hard. They were transformed into some unholy combination of a banshee and a Duracell bunny. They no longer talked, they screeched. Back to them dragging me and BF out of our seats to play, except now it was like playing with hyper lion cubs. They were wild. I kept looking back to the table with pleading eyes, but EM was busy burying her face in her wine glass. My parents are also uncomfortable, but none of us want to make a scene at F's wedding. BF and I didn't get many chances to dance together, so we are trying to enjoy ourselves on the dance floor. These little horrors keep dragging us apart. They were now uncontrollable. EK2 is trying to lift up my dress, while EK1 was trying to pull it down at the front. This dress was quite revealing, and, due to an error with the dressmaker, was a bit too big, so I had to use body tape to make sure I didn't flash people. With EK1 yanking on the front, it hurt. I later had blisters on my mammies, which I can assure you is not pleasant. BF tries to fend off the horde in an effort to save my dignity. They then round on him and try to pull his trousers down. Remember, EM is literally feet away, well aware of what is going on, but does nothing except order more booze. I'm still desperately trying to keep the fuss down so it doesn't spoil F's day. BF and I head back to the table in the last desperate hope that EM or her husband might finally control their animals. The final straw came when EK2 has worked himself into such a frenzy that he tries to pull my hair and hit me across the face. My dad is normally a quiet man, but he had well and truly had enough of this circus and simply put his hand across my face and boom, that's enough. I know it's a social faux pas to tell someone else's children off, but by this point we were all sick of it. The kids go wide-eyed and scuttled behind EM. EM shot us a filthy glare, summoned her husband and brood and promptly left. I also noticed EM had written an F's guest book. Normally people put down congratulations to the new couple, wish them happiness, etc. No, PM had to make it about them and had written a thank you to F for making EK1's big day special. Sure. I later found out from F that EM had bitterly complained to her about us, to which F said she was my bridesmaid, not your free babysitter. What did you expect? As the story went on, the descriptions of the family and children got more and more vivid. Must have been a nightmare fending off the horde. If you like the content and want to support the channel, like and subscribe right now, or you'll be running on fumes. My sister is getting married at the end of July in Hawaii. She is shocked more people aren't going. She is surprised that more people can't go to their destination wedding. She is also shocked it's too expensive for people. She knows I don't have a job right now, and my boyfriend is in heavy therapy in another state, but continues to bully me and my 8-month-old baby. She is resentful because I can't pay my way to her wedding, even though she chose to get married there knowing I can't afford it, and said it's okay. She micromanaged the bridesmaids and had us all get wedge shoes for the wedding so we wouldn't sink in the grass. Of course she has stiletto heels. This should go over well. Her friends that are just wives of her fiance's friends are spoiled brats. They are not very nice. I shouldn't be surprised. Accused uncle of being high maintenance when I went around her to tell him about the potential hazards for him because he has a compromised immune system from stage 5 leukemia. She has the nerve to put him at risk. Excludes my boyfriend and father of my baby from wedding because she can. Nobody else is excluded. His PTSD came back after 10 years from serving in Afghanistan. I've been away from him for 4 months and they refuse to let our first reunion be their wedding week in Hawaii. She says she knows PTSD is real, but is afraid of his triggers and is shocked he won't tell her his life story. I told them, other guests have +1s, why is my +1 not invited? She doesn't even want him on the island, let alone at the wedding. He's moving to the same town in a month. My boyfriend is okay with it all. I'm livid. The groom is equally douchey and is on her side. Queenzilla didn't want my then 5-month-old baby at bridal shower because she takes too much attention. My mom wasn't allowed to pay attention to baby. We ate alone in the kitchen away from the guests. My cousin and fellow host sat with me so I wouldn't be alone. She's too kind. My godparents want me to cut her out of my life because my uncle had to do the same. She talks trash behind her in-laws' backs, even though they are also pitching in a lot of money and are doing their best to help. I called her a bridezilla to her face, and she didn't even flinch. She wears it like a badge of honor. She asks if her maid of honor seems frazzled, like she's trying to ruin her life while she's at it. Her best friend wants a small wedding after this craziness. I told her venue is usually 1/15th the cost of the entire wedding. She looked at me like I offended her. I tried to help, but she would rather be shocked by the bills and create more drama. Her hair always looks almost orange because her friend is a professional hairstylist and that's what my sister likes. The one time it was slightly more blonde than orange. She made her friend fix it. Her friend had a 1-month-old baby at home waiting for her. When my sister came home she looked like her hair was back to her natural color because her friend must have been fed up. She has no idea what her hair normally looks like. Lack of introspection and inspection? Not sure how to label that. She asked my parents 2 weeks before the wedding to double their contribution. What a nice surprise. This happened 3 days ago. My sister makes more than my parents yet expects them to keep forking more money over. If my mom lets my boyfriend come to the wedding, my sister said my mom is not invited to the wedding. That's the kicker. My dad said he won't go if my mom doesn't go. It's a crap show. I hate her. She's out of my life after the wedding. I hope she doesn't reproduce. There is a lot going on there, but sounds like the bridezilla loves drama and spending other people's money. Let me know in the comments below if money plus drama equals good wedding memories. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on the bell or you'll be running on fumes. See you in the next video.